What up, ladies and gentlemen? Here with the dream interview. We made it. We're here. It's an absolute honor to be with one of the most influential metal drummers, rock drummers of all time. Someone that, I guess, it's insane that you sing and drum. You know, you don't see that often.
Yeah, it's a real problem.
And then, you being in Mastodon, being in Arcadia, a legend, an Atlanta legend.
Oh, sweet.
I'm here with the one and only
Hi.
Mr. Brann Dailor.
I'm Brann Dailor. Yes.
Brann Dailor. Already
fine.
3 seconds in, man.
Don't worry about it.
So
It's been my whole life.
I know how it is with the weird spelling of my name.
Yeah.
It's always Jai.
Jai.
I got Yai once, which
Yai?
was crazy.
Yeah. People don't know.
Yikes.
They look at it, they get confused.
Mm-hmm.
I always knew when the teacher had come to my name in roll call when they were just stumped, you know, and they're just staring at the page blankly, just like, oh no.
Yeah.
What is this? How do I pronounce
No,
this?
you're gonna get
But I would help them out, you know. I interject. I'd be like, it's Brann, and they'd be like, oh, thank you. Oh my god.
I had Spanish teachers in elementary, so they would always do the most wild pronunciations. It's pretty fun to see, actually.
Yeah.
And everyone was laughing, and so it's that's actually Jay.
Yeah.
Simple. It's easy.
It's easy.
It's a good story.
We blame our parents, don't we?
Uh-huh. It's all your fault.
It builds character.
It
That's what
definitely
I was
does.
told.
And it's, it's like a cool opener, like to meet people. It's very inviting to say, well, it's actually Jay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, correcting people right off the bat. It's always great.
Yeah.
They love that.
So the first question that it's easily the question everyone wanted to hear. I think you know what it is.
I don't.
Any new Mastodon music?
Well, yeah, I mean, we're currently kind of, you know, in a couple different worlds of getting together. So we have a ton of like new material that's, you know, kind of bubbling at the surface. You know, we've been working on it, and at the same time getting ready for the Leviathan tour. So we've been practicing that set, you know, which is like an hour and I think 10 or 15 minutes. Which the Leviathan itself is only about 46 minutes in total. And so we've been working on that and also putting together a lot of new material and then working on another project that is, I can't really talk about.
Yeah.
You know, probably like everybody that you interview. With the new stuff, they have to hold it close to their chest, you know. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of new material. It just needs to be kind of fleshed out as far as like, it's pretty far along, to be honest. There's a lot of songs that are, you know, I'd say, you know, 75% there.
Oh, sick.
So it's probably going to, I'm hoping on this next tour that we do, which is going to be about, I think 5 to 6 weeks long, that when we're together every day, all day long, that we will also be working on kind of retooling a lot of that stuff and just getting it. We just obsess over every aspect of every riff, of every transition, of every, you know what I mean? It's just we're perfectionists, like most musicians, you know, and they really just pour over our material and just make sure it's the best that it can be for us, you know? But yeah, it's getting there. We're close.
That's awesome to hear, man. Do you think we'll have another double album?
God, I hope not. But I think that there'll be two different things that come out. One will be a proper Mastodon album, and the other thing will be something different.
Yeah, I don't want to dig too much into it and get you in like screwed over.
Don't get me in trouble.
Yeah, no. I interviewed a Swedish musician, and he accidentally disclosed the fact that fish.
What?
Swedish fish.
Yeah, Swedish fish.
Yeah, my favorite.
That's your favorite?
One of them.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say that can't be your favorite.
No, my favorite. Man, have you had the 100 grands? Dude, those
100
things are
grand. Yes, I have.
So good.
I have.
Those are my favorite Halloween candy.
I'm a Reese's guy.
Like my mom.
Anything Reese's.
I mean, peanut butter and chocolate's like a bomb combo. I had that for breakfast. I had the little puffs.
You did?
That's chocolate and peanut butter.
That's nice. I haven't had breakfast yet.
Ooh.
Still thinking about it.
Yeah, what are you gonna have though?
I had 2 cups of coffee though, so I'm good.
I'm not a coffee man.
It might happen
like
for you
tea.
later.
I know. I heard about that this weekend.
You're
I
a
was
tea person?
camping. They were like, no, it'll happen sooner or later.
I mean, maybe it won't. It's fine if it doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, I like, tea's just, it tastes sweet.
Right.
It's like real sweet and it's like light. I like that.
Well, coffee's nice and bitter, so
The complete opposite.
just like me. Yeah.
They're like spooky, scary.
No, just bitter.
Just bitter?
Yeah.
Okay, so the next question, this is actually here. This is cool.
Okay, I'm ready.
We all know you like clowns, right? Everything
Yeah.
about that.
Mm-hmm.
And Danny Carey, recently in France for the Tool Show, he debuted like a costume almost. It was like a full bodysuit. Like it looked like an
I saw
adventure
it.
suit. Yeah.
It's like a Mr. Goodbody. I don't know if you know who that is.
I do,
but,
yeah.
Mr. Goodbody used to wear that suit. But yeah, it looks like he's removed his skin.
Yeah, it's pretty
and
scary.
Only his muscles.
Like Hellraiser almost.
Yeah.
But
It looked very cool.
if we put that over into the Mastodon sense, would you be willing to wear full clown garb?
I would, yeah, obviously. I've done it many times. I have a clown, Honky the Clown. And, or there's Patches, which Patches comes out and kind of just wreaks havoc on the stage and, unplugs things and can't understand why.
Sounds like my brother.
Yeah, just like your brother, Patches the Clown. But, the only thing would be I probably wouldn't try to play with the clown shoes on because they're just too big.
Yeah, real long.
I wouldn't be able to do all the things that I need to do to play a Mastodon set. But, I pretty much, for the most part, keep the clown thing out of Mastodon. But, once in a while, the two worlds intersect, and I'm fine with it.
And that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Maybe Atlanta so special. I mean, Alpharetta. Not Atlanta, Alpharetta.
Alpharetta. You want me to come out to Alpharetta?
I mean, that's where you're playing.
Okay, well.
It's real close to my house.
Oh, that's cool.
It's nice.
Yeah.
But
we played there with Gojira last summer. Or
Dude,
whenever that was.
I heard about the tour as soon as you left.
Oh, okay.
Because my friends are obsessed with Gojira. And that's like they're cool, man, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're like French and spooky, mysterious.
I don't know, are they mysterious?
I mean, their
Not
publicist.
to me.
Their publicist told me they're really mysterious.
They're like, okay. That just means they don't want to do any of
Yeah, I know. That's exactly. He's like, well, they're very mysterious.
They're very mysterious. That's a nice way to. No, they're the best. I mean, I love those guys to death. They're brothers of ours. We've been touring with them since 2011 or 12 or so, and played lots and lots and lots of shows, and we're very good friends. And to me, they're not very mysterious because I know them so well. I've seen them naked. Just kidding. I haven't seen them naked. It's a joke.
Or have you?
You'll
never know.
Yeah. There's a lot of those, when you play arenas, the showers are big.
They're like prison showers. Prison showers, man.
Exactly like prison, yeah.
And so speaking of friends, right? People wanted to know about Mr. Joshua Homme. How did you meet him? How did you start collaborating with him? And do you think there's a chance you may collaborate with him in the future?
There's always a chance to collaborate with Josh. He's an awesome dude. One of my favorite people. He's very funny. Very similar sense of humor, I think, to mine and to all us in Mastodon. When we get together with him, it's nothing but jokes. And all the Queens of Stone Age guys.
Yeah.
Been good friends with those guys for a long time. First met Josh. We played this venue. It was called the Cow House. It was down in Tallahassee, and we opened up for them when they were doing the Ozfest. I think it was 2001.
Ooh, yeah.
They were on Rated R record, and they did a sideshow, and we opened for them, and we became fast friends. And ever since then, we've just been buddies. Whenever they come to town or whenever we're out in LA, for many, many years now, we always, see those guys, and it's always a blast.
Their show was really good, wasn't it? At Shaky Knees.
It was awesome.
They were on fire.
They were.
The last thing I was expecting was opening up with Millionaire.
Yeah.
Like I was completely not thinking about that at all.
Yeah.
And then randomly get
You just never know what they're gonna hit you in the face with.
I know. That's the best part about it,
Yeah.
Your shows too, It's always rotating with set lists and whatever, and that's beautiful.
Gotta keep it fresh. Not this next tour though. Everyone's gonna know what's coming. There's no hiding from that.
I wonder what album you'll possibly be playing,
Yeah,
Ashes of Leviathan.
The one with the whale on it.
Or the one with the other mysterious animal on it.
No.
Who knows? No?
The whale. it's set in stone.
Okay. Drums.
Drums, yeah. Circles.
Crap.
No? I'll stump you?
I wonder what drums are, but Mr. Crap, I forgot his name. Here, I'll do this.
A
How do you
subreddit
feel
friend?
about all the crazy classic drum legends kind of getting into that real old age, into like the 70s and 80s.
How I feel about it?
Yeah.
About them becoming older?
Yeah.
I feel okay with it. It's better than them not shuffling off this
Not
mortal
aging.
coil. The alternative is being smothered in dirt. So
Not the
I like the
best
fact that they're here,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of them they're still playing. So
Oh yeah. You know Gary Husband?
yeah,
Yeah, I spoke to him a while back. He's still doing his keyboards and his drums and everything.
yeah.
Touring so much.
I mean, it's rare that I hear about someone that has stopped playing. You know what I mean? It's just an obsession that you can grow old with. Hopefully, if you have your health and everything still works, I think you just kind of gotta keep on doing it, and then you don't really lose it. But there are circumstances that
Like Phil Collins.
arise. Yep. The great Phil Collins, which I don't know. Maybe he still sits down there and plays a little bit, but a lot of guys, if they're able, they're back there doing it. I mean, Bill Ward's still crushing it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just a lot of guys.
Bill
We
Ward's
don't even know how far into it the metal guys can go because metal as a genre is still very young, and the forefathers of the genre are still living. They're still here.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll see.
Bloody Sabbath.
Yeah. So we'll see. Hopefully for me, I can play well into my 70s, and who knows?
That'd be cool.
We'll see what happens.
70. What would that be? That'd be like 50th anniversary of Mastodon shows.
Yeah, something like that.
And that would be insane.
Playing March of the Fire Ants.
Like, oh, my back hurts.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be 50 next year, so
That's not that old though.
it's pretty old.
My dad's 50.
Okay, we'll see.
Someone's
Dad,
old.
50, it's old, right?
We talked about Green Day a little bit before this, right? How they're doing the promotional stuff. And
You told me about it. I don't know anything about it.
Mysterious, and now I'm finally explaining it to you.
All this mysterious
They
talk.
they've been doing these things where, I don't know if it's just Green Day, I feel like other people have been doing it too, but they would play a real small show and give like barely any notice. I think the most was like 5 hours, 6 hours. No notice, tickets go like that.
Right.
Would you consider playing like a small show like the Earl or something, just like mysteriously out of the blue?
Yes.
Is
I would
it in the
consider
works?
it. Huh?
What is it in the works or just?
Oh, I don't know.
No?
I'm not sure.
Oh,
I have to ask Bill.
it's a great idea. Just leave it be then. Well, hopefully it starts.
I think it's a good idea. I do miss the early days of playing smaller venues.
You put that thing on your story of a real old 2000s Mastodon show.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
I want to be. It's like
it was fun. It was fun to be
stories.
there. It was. I mean, we played a lot of those shows we would play. There would be nobody show up. One of our first shows. I remember the first show we played in Louisville. Everyone left, even the door guy. They just were like, all right. It just turned into a practice. But the guy that ran the place had us stay over his house, and he fed us some spaghetti, so it was nice.
Was it good spaghetti?
I don't really remember the actual food itself. I'm sure it was fine.
It's okay spaghetti then.
It was fine.
That's what I'm getting from it. Okay.
We're not gonna, it wasn't any kind of.
Was it Michelin
star? It was spaghetti.
No Gordon Ramsay?
No. No. But a smaller venue. It's to me it's like low pressure. There's not like all this stuff on stage, and it's the energy is awesome. Not to say that playing in an arena or one of these big outdoor pavilions isn't awesome, because it is. There's lots of people and they're having a good time and it's fun, but the energy of the crowd being like really close, and I don't know, I dig that too.
It's something different. I saw Dinosaur Jr. for one of the late night shows for Shaky Knees, and we got there like 5 minutes before the show started, and it was at the Loft. So there's no barrier.
Right.
It's just packed, and it's real small and sweaty, and like the walls are painted like from the blood of old witches. It's like caked on and greasy, and
yeah.
and we were in the back. You can't see
Nothing
crap.
like some old witch blood to paint the walls.
I know it's real metal though. I mean, you
Right.
can't lie. It's real metal,
Agreed.
and it's cool to see the different like instead of all the big lights and the screen behind him, just to have like the really stupid house lights is kind of like flash randomly during the song.
Somebody
it's
back
a
there.
different experience.
Beep, boop,
Yeah.
beep, boop, beep, boop.
And the best part, it's like it's not on tempo or anything. It's not remotely connected to the song. It's
Yeah,
like,
I love that.
they forgot.
It really improves the experience, but yeah. I mean, you know, I love going to the Star Bar and stuff, so it'd be cool to. Our first like sold out show in Atlanta was at the Star Bar. We still have like the sign that says it's the Star Bar sign that says sold out that they had to put out front, so that let
People
people
don't
know
show
that
up,
it was
yeah.
sold out. You can't come in. But yeah, it was that was a fun moment for us. We were like, whoa, sold out the Star Bar, pretty awesome.
That's
Which
it.
was great. It was really cool.
And my friends starting to get those experiences. They're playing shows at Smith's, and they're like kind of indie people, but it's so cool to see them like actually start getting people in audiences and numbers and
Yeah,
like getting to watch that happen is like people I know.
yeah, it's
That's
exciting.
so incredible. And then for this upcoming tour, right? Are you guys gonna have like the big screens and do you have an idea of what the stage layout's gonna be like?
I do have an idea.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all planned
It's
out.
all locked up, huh?
Yeah, it's all planned out.
Okay.
Big
So then,
screen, big videos and lasers and fire and smoke and
no lights?
a couple lights,
Just one or two.
just one like hanging light that swings back and forth.
The disco ball comes out,
Yeah.
the last bear, and everyone starts
I'd
like
love that,
discoing.
yeah. That would be cool.
That'd be a good idea, actually.
Yeah,
And then
gotta write that down and mail it to yourself.
oh yeah, I write it down like an old tissue, and
Right.
then I lose it for like a couple months, and then you find it, it's like, oh, genius, Einstein right here.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you listened to the new Sumac album?
Not yet.
You have to.
I know.
It's so good.
I know. Dave Woody, my buddy Dave from Municipal Waste,
Uh-huh.
was telling me about it like 2 days ago. He's like, dude, you have to get this. I'm like, I know. But I've just been wrapped up in Mastodon world and like demos and some other things that something I sang on I can't talk about, and something else I sang on I can't talk about, and then so it's just been a lot of that, like checking mixes and going back and forth and listening to a lot of that.
Is it tiring with Mastodon, or is it kind of like?
No, it's not tiring. It's fun. It's my job.
It's a great job too, you know,
It's the best job.
playing rock and roll.
Yeah.
What other new artists have you been listening to other than Sumac, which you have to listen to? I'm gonna keep freaking
Well,
texting you.
I
about
love Sumac, so
So
that
good.
won't be a problem to get into the new Sumac. I've been listening to the new High on Fire, like
Oh, that's
pretty
so good.
addicted to that.
Matt Pike is like the most awesomest beer belly person other than
Beer belly person.
Sebastian
Matt Pike,
Murphy.
did you hear that? Beer
Okay,
belly person.
Matt Pike finally freaking contact me.
He's
I've been
gonna
trying to find
He's slimming down.
his oh yeah,
it's
just,
going
it's
back.
cool. Like Sebastian Murphy
is
by
cool.
Acker Boys.
Right.
He's like rocking that beer belly.
Okay, well, if it's a cool thing, then I
Yeah,
guess
that's the new
cool.
trend.
Well, I'm not trying to get up in
And
there.
again, Matt Pike, please, I've been trying to get with you for like a million years now, and no one knows you are off the internet.
That's because he
Please.
changed his name to Pat Mike recently, and that's who you need to contact if you want to talk
It's
to
like
him.
McLovin, huh? He's got the new ID and everything.
Nope.
No?
It's mysterious.
Never know.
Yeah, the mysterious Pat Mike. Also, I've
Pat
been
Mike,
listening
man.
to this group called Altın Gün, and they have like some
Are they metal?
Turkish sounding.
Oh,
No,
okay.
it's not metal, but it's
I
still really
recognize
cool.
their name.
Yeah, I really like that.
Have you heard the new Modu Mokhtar?
No,
I can't possibly say their name. They're like a
Modu Mokhtar.
I think they're like Nigerian or something.
Okay.
And they do like they're all like dressed up with like the headscarves and everything, and it's
Cool.
like complete African music. It's so cool.
Well, I'll listen to that.
And then
Okay. Send me a link.
bet. And that brings me to the next question would be, people have noticed that your 4/4 in terms of drumming is a little bit kind of, I guess I don't want to say swung. It's just a little different in certain songs. So do you happen to listen to like Middle Eastern or Asian types of music? I mean, you already said Turkish, but is there anything else or? do
Yeah, I
you think
listen.
could change your 4/4?
I listen to my 4/4 like always has a push, and so that's what's going on there probably. And it's hard for me to like. It's hard for me to not do it. Like I'll even pay attention to it sometimes and be like, no, just play it straight. But I like that push. It moves the music for me. But I'm not sure if it's derivative of any of the Middle Eastern music that I've listened to growing up. But not early, but I'd say probably around 16 or so, I started to get into some Middle Eastern music, and I kind of discovered that whole Peter Gabriel's label, Real World Records, through the soundtrack to Last Temptation of Christ, which was a Scorsese film.
Is that a good movie?
It's a great movie.
I need to watch it. I want to watch some more Scorsese.
It's very, I love the movie. It's amazing, and Willem Dafoe is amazing as the Christ character. But I would say that some of the, like Harvey Keitel as Judas, his accent is Brooklyn, and it just sounds great. I love that. There's no attempt.
Imagine that.
No attempt to.
Back then, they're just like speaking in heavy Brooklyn accents.
You know what? It's fine. Just do that.
Yeah, like a Boston accent.
I'm surprised that De Niro and Pesci didn't make an appearance. But so I really would make a beeline for the world music section when I would go to the record store when I was around that age, and would just pretty much buy records based on the cover. I had no idea what was inside, and I would roll the dice a lot and discovered a lot of gems that way, and some really cool music I'd never heard of, and I was very excited to explore this whole new world of music, whereas up until that point, I was a total metalhead as a kid, but also like my parents' record collection was like lots of prog rock and lots of old Genesis and King Crimson and Mahavishnu Orchestra and also early Elvis Costello and the Cars and all the new wave stuff that was happening in the 80s. My dad was really into all that, And
you saying Swans is in there?
Yeah, Swans.
Okay.
Swans, Tones on Tail, Cocteau Twins, all the 4AD stuff. But then in 1990, Mr. Bungle's first album came out, and I fell in love with that.
So good.
And I had Clowns and
it's killing me. I couldn't go to a show at the Tabernacle.
Oh, that was great.
But you were there?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you go to all the best shows.
Yes, I'm almost 50. I get to go to all the best shows. I'm a musician. I've been on tour for 25 years, and I go to as many shows as I possibly can.
It's the dream life.
Because I love it.
Mike is like one of my favorite frontmen. It's like...
Same.
It's like completely weird. My ass is on fire. No one would have thought of that except for him.
Right.
And Sky and the rest of the band. They're so...
Luckily, it's not on fire anymore.
Oh, yeah.
But it was
that
for
would be,
many
imagine
years.
For like 20, 30 years, it's constantly on
fire. It was
fire.
20, 30 years. Just recently it was put out. By
Medical intervention, huh?
Yeah.
It's a life-saving treatment.
Tux.
And my ass is on fire after some Taco Bell, man. It's like I'm completely destroyed. Or Zaxby's. Dude, the Zaxby's next to us gives the craziest food poisoning.
Really?
Yeah, but it tastes good, so.
Is it on the menu?
Keep going back. Yeah. It's like $2 upcharge.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Bungle kind of changed my musical trajectory, I guess you could say. I was kind of listening to a lot of metal and found those guys. A friend of mine gave me a tape, and from there I discovered, I read the credits and, John Zorn, who's that? And I kind of opened up this whole world of John Zorn, Buckethead, Bill Laswell, Material, Praxis, like all this crazy music. Went down that whole wormhole, and then when I moved back up to Rochester from New York City, started a band with my friend Eric Burke, and he was just a very interesting, cool guitar player. We started a band called Lethargy, 1991, I think it was, and made some really crazy music with him, and Bill from Mastodon was also in that band, and that's what
I like
happened.
how you say it's like a band called Lethargy. Like nothing big, nothing. It's not like that's a important band at all to the music scene, or.
I don't know if it is or not.
It is.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
It's a very cool band, which reminds me of the band
I thought
Lethargy.
it was cool. Oh, Lethargy.
Have you heard Lethargy?
No.
Dude, it's like
Should I be?
It's like High on Fire if Matt Pike accidentally had like every type of psychedelic possible.
Oh, okay.
And he's hallucinating, and his ass is on fire.
Oh, God.
So we got some Mr. Bungle in there too, and it's just like complete ear.
Ear candy.
It's like the opposite of ear candy. It's like ear
It's the
licorice.
opposite. Oh, okay. Ear licorice.
It's so good. I love it so
All right.
much.
Liturgy.
Yeah, it's so good.
All right.
And then which brings me to, right? You talked about Genesis.
Yes.
Are you more of an old Genesis guy or a new Genesis? Or not? You can't say new Genesis, but less old Genesis.
You could probably, and you can't really do this, but a lot of people try to split it into Peter Gabriel fronted versus.
It's not. It's Steve Hackett. I think
Right.
I'm very fond of Steve Hackett. And I think
Me
that's
too,
what
yeah.
switched when he left.
Yeah, and then there were three.
Yeah.
Then they kind of went to a different place, but I also love that place they went. You know,
Oh, yeah.
You can't
There's
just
some bops.
you can't just over and over and over again make these prog records. You know, these.
It gets
I
boring
guess. I
after
mean,
a
I guess
while.
you could, but if they.
It is possible.
But also in becoming even more astronomically popular with creating this pop music, which the pop music they were creating is very interesting pop music. Like it's hidden. You know, the prog tendencies are hidden within. You know what I mean? There's
Trying to make it more
strange
palpable.
time signatures happening, but you don't even realize it because they're so camouflaged in like this steady beat that's happening. So and lots of cool like hi-hat tricks that Phil Collins is known for. But I will say that the thing that really resonates with me personally would be the older stuff, you know, like Foxtrot and Nursery Crime, and Lamb Lies Down on Broadway is my favorite, probably album.
It's a good choice.
It's my favorite album by them, and I put it in my top 5 of all time.
Ooh, that's high praise.
I've said that's well documented. People know I like that record. But it's no surprise. But I really love it, and just hearing the Tony Banks intro on the piano to that first track on that record is just it's like mom's meatloaf. It's like a warm blanket. It's
Mom's
very
meatloaf
comforting.
is delicious. Man, I love Nursery Crime. Nursery Crime is like the first record that I heard from Genesis because my science teacher got me into Genesis.
Oh, cool.
And man, it's so good, and it's like terribly recorded sometimes. And like the live versions of it, you can hear like there's like a guy in the background just kind of like hanging out, and sometimes the film is like screwed up, and it makes it perfect.
Have you watched? There's like a live on Belgium TV one.
That's what got me into it.
Yeah.
So he told me to watch the video.
Yeah.
I watched the video, and the first song was
Fountain of.
No, it was Supper's Ready, I think, or at least that's what the edit I watched.
Oh, okay.
So you're watching Supper's Ready, and it's like, oh, this is like a nice kind of acoustic song. It's relaxed, then it goes insane, and it's
You
like
seen my Peter Gabriel tattoo?
Oh, you do? Oh, look at that. That's the same one that's on my double album.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got that signed by Steve Hackett, actually.
Oh, nice.
There was his manager, who's real short, and he has like a gnarly beard.
Oh, sick.
And I was the first one in line, and he walked up to me, and he saw I had my record out, and he's like, do you want to get that signed? I was like, okay. He took my record, appeared 20 minutes later.
Wow, nice.
And it was signed.
I love Steve Hackett.
He is so
He
cool.
invented finger tapping.
He did. Ooh, that's like
It's a hot topic.
a very hot topic.
I think it's Steve Hackett.
I agree, but that's kind of one of the things. That's like, can you really
You
give
probably
it
can't
some-
really. You
Yeah.
probably can't really. But I'm gonna give it to Steve.
Yeah.
If you're asking me, a drummer, I'm giving finger tapping to Steve Hackett.
Yeah, one of the most famous guitar techniques ever.
Yeah. You're
From a
welcome,
drum-
Steve.
Steve's thanking you right now. He's gonna send you a nice little long letter.
I hope so.
Dude, did you go to a show actually?
I wasn't able to go. I wasn't in town.
That was so good.
Yeah.
I had one up, you know.
Yep.
I got to see one cool show that you didn't get to see.
You did.
So
Congrats.
eat that.
I'll eat it.
I mean, he'll be back. I think he's coming back next year or something. You know,
Okay.
constantly touring.
I like you trying to make me feel better.
Yeah, don't worry, don't
Yeah,
worry.
you'll see him.
And then swans. I can't get off the topic of swans because they're so good, and I am deeping. I like it's worse than
Songs
it's bad.
for the blind.
It's like really an addiction. Like it's crippling at this point. All my money's going to swans.
Okay.
Man, I'll be at the house a couple days. They're gonna kick me out.
They are?
It's
to hear
not no
about it.
comment.
Yeah,
you know?
no comment. You'll be up. And then I'll look for you in the underpass over there at 20.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have my sign out. Addiction.
There's a lot of nice
to
pup
swans.
tents over there.
That's kind of
Gotta be careful though.
man. That's the one thing about Atlanta that kind of it kind of sucks. There's like a lot of homeless and
Every city you go to in our
that's true.
great country of America.
I wish,
Unfortunately.
I wish there was a good way to fix that, you know, like a real solution. But that's like the thing with the drug problem. There is no solution.
Oh,
there can't be a solution. But I mean, in that same sense, I feel like weed has made some of the best albums to ever exist. Like
Probably.
freaking what's it, Dope Smoker?
Yeah.
People would call me insane at school during math, because during math we were doing like the stupid ass equations, and the whole time I was listening to the stupid same riff over and over, Dope Smoker. Like that's what gets me in my freaking area, my zone, is when I can
it's hypnotizing.
Boom, 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 and it's so long and it's perfect.
Yeah, it's a good time.
I love me some sleep. Do you listen to stoner metal a lot? Or stoner rock? I guess it's
I don't know.
No name for it.
Do I? I'm not sure.
Bongzilla. Have you heard of Bongzilla?
Oh yeah, we played with them.
Yeah, Bongzilla. So what a great name, man.
Bunch of goofballs.
Are they?
Yeah.
Now all the people from that area always seem like so scary. Like
Scary?
I would see them in like a dark alley. Yeah.
Bongzilla's not scary.
Bongzilla's not, but like freaking
Who's scary
you know,
to you?
Al Cisneros, I think that's how you say his name. The bassist.
He might be a little bit scary.
He is scary. Like all the pictures of him, he's like he's doing the death stare into the camera.
Yeah, I'd stay away from him.
I was trying to get an interview with him, but maybe not. Then maybe not.
Don't interview him.
He's gonna pull up with a revolver and
No, not a revolver. He just
a revolver made out of weed.
Yeah.
The 420 revolver. Sure. Weed revolver. That's what it'll be.
There you go.
The weed revolver. So, what other shows have you been seeing other than the Bungle and Shaky Knees and?
Isn't that enough?
No, it's never enough. That's the other addiction. You got the Swans, and I have the freaking live shows.
I can't remember who I went to go. Oh, I went to go see my buddies. Morbicon.
Ooh, yeah.
With Exhumed.
Exhumed is so cool. I listened to a little bit of Exhumed.
We toured with them. Actually, my old band, Today's the Day, we toured with Exhumed. Bill and myself. It was the first Relapse Contamination tour, and it was in 98 or 99, somewhere in there.
The Relapse is
very fun.
Such a cool. It's like, first of all your album covers are top notch, like Queens of the Stone Age level, honestly. Like where every album perfectly describes it. But man, there's something about Relapse, like with the freaking just all of it is so cool.
Yeah,
like it's like something I've seen that in my dreams a couple of times at the 7-Eleven in my dreams, because like the 7-Eleven. Big place in my dreams.
Yeah, okay.
And you always see like the freaking all the creatures there.
Uh-huh.
They're always hanging out.
Yeah.
Grabbing the teas. Have you had the peace teas, man?
The peace teas?
The peace teas.
Probably.
The peace teas are so good. Sorry, that's another addiction. I got 3.
I know, you're all teed up, huh?
I had it last night at 1 a.m.
Dude, you're not supposed to have peace tea at 1 a.m.
I know, it's a sin. It's a cardinal sin.
It's not a sin, it's just you're not going to get any sleep. Be too
It's
teed.
worth it. I'm teed out, man.
You are teed out.
I'm shaking already from the tea.
I see you, dude.
Well, I'm trying to... Now I need to go back to my mind, because now my mind is screwed up.
It's all that tea.
It is. It's all the tea. It's all the... It's
You're doing
no
great.
coffee. The Swedish fish that haunted me over the weekend.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that story, actually.
All right.
I was backpacking. I got no sleep, and I didn't really have breakfast. So on the way there, I had 2 packs of Swedish fish. When we got there, guess what was waiting for me? Hornets. Hornets.
Oh, hornets.
Yeah, hornets. And so I got a bite there, and I got bites all over my arm.
Oh no.
And then I threw up pink Swedish fish.
Oh, gross.
Yeah. So I'm cursed now. I'm cursed.
You're not cursed.
With the Swedish fish.
Oh, you think you're having an aversion to it now?
I heard them. They were doing like the old magic.
But when
witchcraft.
when you conjure up an image of Swedish fish in your mind, does it now?
Pink slob, a pink jelly walking around.
Are you going to be able to eat them again? You
Straight out of Star Wars. I don't know. I need to go into.
Because I had a similar situation, which I just was able to overcome last week.
With the fish?
No, with the tuna melt.
Oh, the real fish.
Yeah, the actual fish. But my grandmother, I think I was probably around 9 years old, 8 or 9 years old, and I slept over at my cousin's house. And got me and my cousins, we all got, I don't know if it was food poisoning or what it was, but we got really sick and I was throwing up, and then I ended up going over leaving my cousin's house and going over to my grandmother's house. She wanted to make me something to eat. You need to eat something, because I had been throwing up all night. And I was really sick, and I didn't really want to eat anything. But she made me a tuna melt, but she made it in her like ancient toaster thing.
Yeah, I think it's got like crusty and it's got like remains.
It
of
was
old
like
people
this
at the bottom.
weird toaster from the 1700s. It just didn't toast the bread all the way, so it was just like this cheese and tuna, and it was kind of like soggy but hot, you know. And I took one bite of it, and I went and threw up again.
Oh.
And ever since then, I haven't been able to eat a tuna melt. And even for years after that, when somebody would say the word tuna melt, or you know, my girlfriend in the early 90s worked at a diner and they served tuna melts and people would get them and I would see them and I would go, oh, you know, throw up in my mouth a little bit.
I mean, I understand. Tuna melts aren't even like, honestly, I think I could live without tuna melts. My thing is eggs.
But I just had one last week at the Porter
and
in Little 5 Points, and I'm all better.
So it only took like
Best tuna melt I ever had.
41 years, but we made it. Yeah. We're there. The Porter, man. I gotta go. I wanted, after Steve Hackett, we ate at Hattie B's. Yeah. It was like the best chicken sandwich I had my whole life. Yeah? Yeah, it was so good, you know?
It's a good one.
At 11 p.m.
Yeah, 11 p.m.
That's better.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, I'm gonna do one last big question, okay?
Okay, uh-oh.
It's the big one. And usually on Zoom...
When you die and go to heaven and you meet God, what do you want him to say to you? Anyway, go ahead.
When you go to heaven...
No, we're not doing that.
It's a little bit of a tongue twister. You gotta give me 3 things that changed your life. So the way you could do this, you could give me a song, a favorite Simpsons episode, and then your favorite clown. Or in that same sense, you could just do 3 of your favorite clowns. But it can be any category or topic. It's just gotta be to change your life for the better, for the worse. And usually I have a time limit on this question.
3 favorite clowns?
Whatever. If you want to do 3 favorite clowns, go 3
favorite clowns. No, I mean, I'm just I want a clarification on the actual question.
Well, it's just something that changed your life, basically.
3 things that changed my life.
3's a number.
3. Let's see.
3 little birds.
I would say my Uncle Mark was just not that much older than me, and so when I was a kid, we'd go over to my grandparents' house, and he would let me go up into the attic and play his drums. Then he would put records on a record player that was behind the drum kit, and he'd put headphones on me and just say, play along. And I did, and I found out through doing that I, had sort of a little bit of a natural rhythm and could not easily, but I felt like I could do it, And then my grandparents and my mom and stuff would come upstairs and watch me do it, and when we would go back to our house, all I could think about was getting back over to my grandparents' house so I could go and play those drums, So it started my obsession with wanting to play them and wanting to be with the drums, And if I knew we were going someplace that had drums, it was be all I could think about. And I didn't really take lessons, but I took a couple from my uncle here and there. He'd show me some stuff, a couple of rudiments here and there. But that was really the jumping off point for me. I couldn't have been more than 4 or 5 years old, and I really just became totally obsessed with the drums and playing the drums, and so that was a big life changer for me, I think. Not like changed my life. I mean, I was 4, but
I mean, in a sense, it kind of.
But it's cool that it's very cool to me that I was able to because a lot of people don't have this luxury, but finding the thing that they want to do at such a young age. I think that a lot of people even struggle into adulthood, not really, not understanding themselves 100%, like what their passion is in life and what they really want to chase and what is very fulfilling for them, to pursue as far as like a soul nurturing thing that they do. That's, I mean, but the most fun for me is to play with my friends, play drums and create something with my friends in Massa, or anybody, you know, for that matter, that I musically have a music relationship with. So that moment was definitely a life changer. I'd say maybe a few years later, you know, my grandpa Richard was a Shriner, and he worked at the Shrine Circus in Rochester, and my sister and I went there, and we got to go backstage, and he brought us into the clown's room where they were putting their makeup on and putting all their gear on.
So that's where your addiction started.
What is going? Oh my God, this is crazy. You know, it's just so cool to be like face to face with them and in close quarters, and see them putting their makeup on, putting their grease paint on, and putting their noses on and their big shoes and everything, and kind of, you know, seeing how the clown sausage was made was
the clown sausage.
Yeah, was very. It was good. It was awesome, and it kind of started all the fun that can come along with being obsessed with clowns. It's a fun life.
It seems so awesome. I need to get into clowns, man.
It's very colorful.
If it is very colorful, and the best part about clowns, it's kind of like perfectly colorful. And since like puddles, it's like everything's white except for his like little nose and his crown. Mm-hmm. It's perfect.
And it's this teeter. This line of
between like depressing and happy.
Not even depressing. There's you know, it's, for me anyways, it's more like kind of playing with that, you know, you're sort of pushing people's buttons a little bit, you know what I mean? Like they're frightened to an extent.
So I think my brother would love clowns.
Sort of gaslight them and pretend that you don't know what why they're upset or why they're freaking out, you know.
So in the sense, it's like the art of siblery,
right?
Like siblings.
Yes, something like that.
So, like I said, my brother's gonna be clown then. That's his. I already see his calling. I need to hook him up with you. He's 10, but he's finding his way into the clown world, I guess, one way or another.
Yeah.
If it's by gaslighting me in my room or. You know.
Yeah. So, okay, my last one would be my friend Dave Whitty, who plays drums for Municipal Waste at this present time. But I first met Dave in the early 90s when he played the drums for a band called Human Remains. They were a band out in New Jersey that you should check out because it's really wild. Out of this world, heavy grind, but from outer space. And I've never heard anything like it since. And when we first saw them, I was just blown away. They played in my basement. In Rochester, I had a club in my basement called Club Brann. And
should revive that.
I should.
That'd be a great little 5 points institution, Club Brann.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll do that.
We'll see how the police feel about that one, but
exactly. Yeah, we maintained our friendship for many years, and around 1997 or so, I got a phone call from him saying, "What's going on with Lethargy?" And I was like, "I don't know. My buddy Eric like moved, and I haven't heard from him, and I don't know what's going on." And it just wasn't a lot happening with that particular project at the time, unfortunately. You know what I mean? I loved that band, and I loved everything that we had done together, but we seemed to sort of hit like a little, just a stalemate. You know, we weren't really going to tour. There wasn't really any plans to tour, and there was a little disconnect, I think, for me anyways. Like I didn't know how to book a tour and how to go about doing that. I thought that you get signed first, and I don't know. I was in my, I very early 20s, and there wasn't a lot of examples for me at that point in time of bands that were doing that. And, it was a little bit isolated up in Rochester, and anyways, my buddy Dave called me up and said, "There's a band called Today's the Day. They're looking for a drummer. They asked me to do it, but I'm way overcommitted. I have a bunch of different projects going on, and you should do it. Just go there, do it. They're gonna put out an album on Relapse. They're gonna tour. At least go try out. At least call the guy and see if you jive or whatever." And so I did, and ended up moving there pretty much right away, and started writing an album with Steve Austin from Today's the Day, and we wrote something really cool, In the Eyes of God, and had called up Bill, and Bill came and played bass, and it really changed my life. I mean, I had to do the work, but if it wasn't for Dave reaching out and saying, "Hey, you should go do this," and kind of giving me a kick in the ass, I don't know that Mastodon would be here. You know what I mean? I don't know that I would have shaken my life up that much to where, moving away from Rochester and all my friends and and moving to the small town Clinton, Massachusetts, and living in this recording studio and being in Today's the Day, and then touring with that band and seeing what it was all like and knowing what it was all about, gave me sort of like the footings, to, I desperately wanted to start my own thing off of that experience. And it was tough living in that kind of a smaller town, you know what I mean? It was challenging a little bit, you know what I mean? There wasn't a lot of people there, and I didn't have a girlfriend, and there was almost no girls there.
No girls.
So it was hard to
Sounds
meet people.
like a nightmare.
It wasn't a nightmare, but it was difficult, socially, and I'm a social dude.
Yeah.
And so leaving there and coming to Atlanta seemed like it'd be a nice fresh start.
Couple more girls here.
Yeah, and we could try to start a new project and see, at least just start a new band and see what happened with it. You know what I mean? And something that we could call our own. Whereas Today's the Day had been going on for over 10 years and was very much Steve Austin's baby. And so, as much as I loved doing that, I really wanted my own thing as well. So we came here, started Mastodon within a couple weeks of moving here, and the rest is history. But if it wasn't for that phone call from Dave Whitty in 1997, I don't know that all of this would have happened. So I blame him for everything. It's your fault, Dave.
It's insane. So
there you go.
This wouldn't even be happening.
No,
That's
we would
crazy.
not be sitting on his couch talking. But I don't know.
It's a very comfy couch.
Thanks.
So.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, there's so much lore behind Mastodon. I guess I never even realized. And what was that band? Human Remains? Is that what I should? Okay.
Human Remains, New Jersey.
Okay, sure. Yeah. I got into ISIS because of my social studies teacher, and he was like, "Well, this band will be up your alley for sure." And that song "Hall of the Dead" by Weedian put it on their freaking Instagram, and I listened to it and I was like, "That's good," and I played it every single day. That's such a good song.
Awesome.
But
yeah, well, I love ISIS. Those guys are awesome. We played with them many times, and I knew those guys. From living in Clinton, Massachusetts. I was right near those guys, and I worked with the guitar player from Converge when I lived there. It was late 90s. Cave-In had just started, and just that whole scene was just starting to happen. That's right. I
mean, and also that's something else. It's like every band in my life somehow is connected.
They're all connected.
Joshua Hahn, if it's by ISIS, or Sumac, or freaking Matt Pike, or whatever.
Well,
it's so cool.
The rock and metal world is pretty small once you get in there and see how everything's connected.
Yeah, I never knew about that until when I started my interviews, and it's like, well, everyone knows each other.
They do,
which is super nice. The big communal sense of family. It's
very community driven. Everybody, the metal community is super tight.
Metal is
super tight knit.
The best people are in metal, man. I've met some mean people in freaking rock, but not in metal. Metal is.
That's good to know.
And now you can be mean now, okay?
All right, I'll go back to being myself.
And bitter, the freaking dark coffee.
That's right.
But it's the end of the road.
All right.
Thank you so much for the interview. It's been a complete honor.
Yeah.
To be speaking to you.
Crazy to speak to you, dude.
This happened because I freaking put a comment on your Instagram post.
That's right.
So, camera, I need to thank the man himself, and then one more person I need to thank, Mrs. Delaney Wilson. Mrs. Wilson, if you're seeing this, hola.
I miss Wilson.
You're very cool. She's your guys' Warner publicist, and she's been very kind, very understanding, helping with scheduling and everything for everything. So, big ups to you. You're very nice, and I hope to work again, hopefully. She's in LA right now. But, that's it.
Awesome, man.
Thank you so much. It's been an honor, and I hope to see you at the Alpharetta show.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I'm trying to take a photo with me. So.
All right, cool. I'll be there.